Every morning, we wake up. But how many of us truly feel alive? How many of us open our eyes with a heart full of excitement, knowing we're living a life that truly matters? Maybe you've spent years chasing success. Maybe you've been searching for love, money, or validation. But deep down, there's a quiet question that keeps echoing. Is this really all there is? Is this the life I was meant to live? We often believe a life worth living has to be big, impressive, or admired by everyone. But what if it's actually much simpler? And at the same time, deeper than you ever imagined. A life worth living might not be about what you have, but about how deeply you feel each moment. It's not about how far you go, but about how fully you are present on the journey. Today, we'll explore this question together. We'll search for the real answer, not from society's expectations, but from the voice within your own heart. And maybe, by the end of this video, you'll realize that a life worth living has always been closer than you think. Are you ready? Let's begin this journey together. Part 1. It's not about a life without sadness, but about living despite it. A life worth living isn't a life without sadness. It's not a life where you're always smiling or always strong. True life means you allow yourself to feel pain and still choose to move forward. It means you can sit with your sadness without letting it define you. There will be mornings when getting out of bed feels impossible. There will be nights when your mind is full of doubts and your heart feels empty. These moments don't mean you're failing. They mean you're human. A meaningful life is not about avoiding the dark. It's about carrying your light through it. It's about finding small reasons to keep going, even when nothing makes sense. You don't have to erase your sadness to be worthy of love or joy. You don't have to hide your struggles to deserve a good life. A life worth living is honest. It accepts both the joy and the tears. It teaches you to stand back up, even if you're trembling. In the end, it's not about living without pain. It's about living fully, even with it. And that is what makes life truly worth it. Part 2. Finding life in the small things. A life worth living is often built on the smallest things. Not grand dreams, not big milestones, but tiny moments that remind you why you're here. There is sunlight streaming through your window on a quiet morning. There's the warmth of a good book, the comfort of your favorite song on a long drive, the simple joy of a hot cup of tea in your hands. Sometimes it's a friend who asks, "Are you okay?" Or a stranger's smile that feels like a gentle hug on a heavy day. Sometimes it's the sound of rain at night, or the first breeze of early summer. These small moments don't fix everything, but they anchor you. They whisper, "Stay, there's more here for you." You don't always need a big reason to keep going. Sometimes it's enough to find one small thing that feels true. A life worth living is not just about chasing big goals. It's about noticing the little sparks that light up your day, the hidden gifts waiting quietly in the background. When you start to see these tiny pieces of beauty, you begin to understand that life doesn't have to be perfect to be precious. In the end, it's not the big moments that hold us together. It's the small, quiet things that remind us we're still alive and that being here still matters. Part 3. A life worth living doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be real. A life worth living is not about being strong all the time. It's about allowing yourself to be human. We're often taught to hide our struggles, to show only the bright parts of our lives. But healing doesn't happen by pretending. It happens when you give yourself permission to feel without judgment. Sometimes it means taking a step back when you're overwhelmed. It means saying, "I need help." Instead of forcing a smile, it means resting when your body and soul are tired. Choosing to slow down is not weakness. It's an act of courage. It's how you rebuild your strength piece by piece. You don't have to fix everything in one day. You don't have to carry every burden alone. A meaningful life is built through small, honest steps. It's about learning to listen to yourself and honoring what you need in each moment. When you learn to be gentle with yourself, you discover a deeper kind of resilience, a quiet strength that doesn't shout, but holds you steady when everything else feels uncertain. In the end, a life worth living isn't about proving yourself to the world. It's about coming home to yourself again and again with kindness. Part 4. Time doesn't heal, but it helps you grow. Time doesn't magically heal wounds. It doesn't erase the pain or make you forget. But time does something powerful. It gives you space to breathe. It gives you moments to learn, to feel, and to slowly rebuild. A life worth living isn't about reaching some final perfect outcome. It's not about waiting for a day when everything finally makes sense. It's about choosing to stay, even when the path ahead is unclear. It's about waking up each day and deciding to take one more step, even when your heart feels heavy. Progress doesn't always look like big victories. Sometimes it's simply choosing not to give up today. You don't have to see the whole road to keep moving forward. You don't have to have all the answers to be worthy of tomorrow. A life worth living is built on quiet courage. The courage to keep going, to keep hoping, and to keep believing that even in the darkness, there can still be light. Now you've seen a new way to look at life. Let's bring it all together. A life worth living isn't about never feeling sad. It's about learning to carry your pain and still move forward. It's not about chasing big dreams every day, but about finding joy in the smallest things. A song, a sunset, a warm cup of tea. It's not about being strong all the time, but about being gentle with yourself, allowing rest, and honoring your own pace. And it's not about waiting for the perfect moment, but about showing up again and again, even when the future feels unclear. In the end, a life worth living doesn't have to be extraordinary. It just needs to feel real enough that you want to stay for it. For one more morning light, for one more shared laugh, for one more quiet, honest breath. If this touched your heart, subscribe, and let's keep walking this journey together, because you are not alone, and your story is worth staying for.